Now, let's review mail merge. When you watch this video, here are the promises. My intent, my promise. You will be reacquainted or introduced for the first time with the mailings toolbar. You should understand what is meant by the term database. Learn the steps in getting a letter from creation to multiple recipients. Just open a window. I'm only going to open a window on where you would go to if you needed to edit a recipient from the mailings toolbar. And finally, how to create labels. Here is the mailing toolbar as it would be seen before you did anything. So I'm imagining I'm in my letter, I've typed up my letter and I'm ready to go. Everything is inactive until I connect with my database. But do we know what a database is? Let's just make sure. So if you see here, there's my letter. So you type in your letter. So that's your first Word document. You either have to create, or you're given, or there is a work database of names and addresses. And this is what it looks like. A database is basically a spreadsheet. Sometimes it can be in a table of important information about all your clients. Having each heading up here is called a field. So it's like my vital statistics. So the fields about me would be my first name, my second name, the first line of my address, the second line of my address, the third line of my address, maybe my email, maybe my phone number. Just because they're in the database doesn't mean you have to use them all, but it's useful to have it. That's a whole other story, planning a database. For the level 6s, you're given one. For the level 5s, you just have to create one, a very simple one in a table. But what the mail merge does is it connects your letter to the database and produces multiple documents. Okay? So here are the steps. 1, type your letter. 2, create or know where your database is so you can connect it. And then connect your letter to the database using select recipients, use existing list. Okay? Once that's done, it seems like nothing has happened, except all these buttons are now live. So the next thing you're going to do on your letter is in the relevant spots where you want their address, where you want Dear Mary, you put the merge fields. So if you notice, when you click down on the drop down of the merge fields, what appears are all the headings in the first row of your table or a spreadsheet. And then when you insert them one by one, this is what your letter will look like. Okay. Now, if you were just to go straight, you should really check, but I'm trying to keep these videos short. But the final stage in the mail merge is edit, all, finish, edit, all, okay. A new document called letter is produced. If you're doing a few, it'll be letter 1, letter 2. This contains as many pages as there are records in your database. Save this multi-page document with a relevant name if you need to keep a copy. Otherwise, print them. Close with or without saving. Keep the original in case you need to use it again. So this is the result. You can see there's 79 pages. It's a new document called Letters 1, and these have all been replaced with the actual data in the document. If you ever need to edit or select, say you only want to send it to 3 people, you go Edit Recipient List, and this window pops up. If you untick up here, everybody gets unticked. And then if you tick the ones you want to send to, you just tick. Okay. Now there's a filter for the more advanced. That's not being done here. If you want to go in, you've made a spelling mistake or something, click in here on the database and then click edit, and then you'll be able to edit it. Okay. Now for labels, use same toolbar. Okay. So while I have the toolbar here, what I didn't show you the last time is when you go select recipients, connect to the recipient list, insert the merge fields, and you just see all the headings like business 1, business 2, business 3. You can preview and then you can have a look in. This is still a one-page document. You haven't hit finish and merge. And then with these buttons here, you can, oh, bugger, navigate through. It's not letting me go back. Anyway, this is for the labels that you start mail merge. This is in a blank document. You have to start mail merge labels. For all of you, I want you to choose aptly here from this drop down and 01214. When you go in, I'm just showing you here by highlighting the table toolbar. I went from the mailings to the table to show you with view grid lines on. All that is it's divided the page up as a table. Okay. Now, when you start, you've selected the recipients, you've set it up as a label. So when, similar to before, you use insert merge field and you start first, last. Well, what I want you to pay attention to is the first line, can you indent it from the left and from the top, because you'll miss part of your address. Then when you go to the second line, keep the left one, but bring the spacing above to 0. So spacing above and after should be 0. And so you wind up with first, last, name of company, business street, business city, business date, business zip, then update labels. And hey presto, you've got a full sheet of names and addresses. Now hit preview and you will see the actual data. Again, you can flick through these. Now, this was a list of 79 names and addresses, so you would need to finish edit all okay to get a full sheet of labels. We're nearly there. I just want to highlight the messages you could get. So if you went straight into your labels without having created a new document, so you're still in your letter and you go, oh, I need my labels, you'll get this message. In order to apply the selected label option, Word must delete the current contents of document 1. So if you want to save your letter, you need to open a blank document before you start the labels. And the second warning thing there is, okay, you're working away in your database, done your work for today, you've closed everything and put it away. The following day, you need to send that letter again to different people on the list. You open it up and this warning comes up. Okay, so all it is saying, hang on, we're connected to a database. We're warning you, do you still want to open it? And you say yes. And you can always just reconnect to a different database if that's ever needed. Final slide. So did I keep my promises? You have been acquainted with the mailings toolbar. Okay, the idea that it is largely grey until you select recipients, use existing list, and find your database of names and addresses. Then they all come live. So you understand that a database then is simply a table in the shape of a table in Word or a spreadsheet in Excel, with the first row having all the headings and then all the records are underneath. So the steps in getting a letter to multiple recipients. You start with your letter. You select recipients, use existing list, connect to your table. Now you have to get the field names in. So you go and you start constructing your address block with first name, surname, address 1, address 2, address 3, all the little elements of your address or business street, business city, business zip for the level 6s. Then you preview, you flick through to see are they all okay. Then you finish, edit all okay, and you've got new Word document with many pages in it. To edit recipients, you just go to Edit Recipient List, Edit Recipients on the Mailings toolbar, and you can tick or untick ones you want to include, or you can go down at the bottom of the window and pick the database, edit, and go in and make changes. And we have learned how to create labels in the Mailings toolbar. I hope this is helpful.